Manifestation is not outside of God. Manifestation is God. If you believe it, happy Manifesting Monday. Okay, y'all, let's get down to the truth. The reason that we keep seeing the same results over and over and over again is because we keep telling ourselves the same story over and over and over again. In order to have a new outcome, we have to change our beliefs. In order to change our beliefs, we have to change our thinking. In order to change our thinking, we have to change the story that we are telling ourselves. What are some stories that we tell ourselves? Well, when it comes to love, there's a saying that everybody knows.
I had my fill of busters. Because these men ain't what?
In the famous words of Miss Echo, when it comes to money, what are some stories that we're telling ourselves? That we're broke and we're robbing Peter to pay Paul. When it comes to things like our health, what are some stories that we're telling ourselves? Oh, my mom and dad or my family has diabetes, so of course I'm going to have diabetes. Even if we don't say these things verbally out of our mouths, if we have a subconscious belief that these things are true, then that is what we will see in our lives. In order to attract and manifest something different in our lives, we have to feel that we already have it. What are the three things that most human beings strive for? Love, money, career, and health. So in everything in life, and especially in these areas, if we don't change what we truly believe about these things, then we will never see a different outcome. So you can end one relationship and get into another, but the relationship will end if you don't change your thinking about relationships. You can leave one job to have another, but the outcome will be the same in the new job as in the old job. We can have surgery or take medication for one health problem, but if we don't change the root cause of the health problem, then another health problem is going to pop up somewhere else. What do you do if you've never had and you've never seen anyone have a healthy relationship? A lot of people who are single, they may not have a romantic relationship, but their lives are literally filled with love all around them. They usually have a very close family dynamic. They have soulmates in their mothers, in their sisters, in their loved ones, cousins. They have very close-knit bonds that exude love, but because it's not a romantic relationship, there's a constant longing for that romantic relationship. So what is a change you can make in that situation? Focus on the love that you do have. Appreciate the love that you do have. Appreciate those bonds that you do have. So much so that you don't even have the thought of lacking in any way for love. What do you do if you want a certain financial status and you haven't seen it and have never seen it? Appreciate the financial status that you do have. Appreciate the blessings that you receive. I don't know a person on earth that hasn't been blessed in some sort of way, even if it's something that's small. Appreciate the blessings that you do have around you on a daily basis. Abundance is not just in finances. If you don't have to pay for something, that is abundance. If you receive gifts of things, that is abundance. So recognize all of those everyday ways that you have abundance in your life. Health status. Everyone knows that after the age of 40, you're going to wake up with aches and pains. Let's say you do wake up with those aches and pains every day. Let's say you've had surgery for those aches and pains and there's still no relief. Instead of verbalizing every day those aches and pains, you say, well, dang, I'm glad I can put my 2 feet on the floor. I'm glad I can walk upright. I'm glad that I can walk without a cane or crutches. I always give patients the example of people in their 30s who I know who have had a stroke and have to walk with a cane every single day. And so just wake up with that appreciation of what you can do and be grateful for. Thrive in it. So what is this week's action to change the story that we are telling ourselves? a gratitude journal. Every night before you go to bed, write down 5 things that you're grateful for. And at first, most people all have the same thing of, I'm grateful for my children, my family. Every day and each night, try to recognize some type of gratitude that is something different than the days before. Try to make it specific. When we start to love the lives that we have right now, today, is when we can start to attract the things that we want. God and our angels in the spiritual realm hear us. They hear every thought that we have. And there is no understanding of, I want something different. So let's use something like illness. When COVID was going on, a lot of people would say, I know I'm going to get COVID. I know I'm going to get COVID. I know I'm going to get COVID. I have this and I have that. Everybody around me is getting COVID. I know I'm going to get COVID. Guess what? They got COVID. Because the only thing that is heard in the spiritual realm is the vibration of where we are. So if we vibrate at a level of knowing certain things, that is what we're going to see manifest in our lives. This is not anything outside of godly principles. In the Bible, it says, whatever you ask in prayer, believe you have received it and it is yours. Manifestation is not outside of God. Manifestation is God. If you believe it, it's not the words that come out of your mouth. Just because you say you have something, if you don't believe it in your heart, if it's not in the thoughts that you have on a regular basis, that is not what you're going to receive. You receive what you think. Every thought that we have is received by God in the spiritual realm. So if your thoughts are constantly thinking negative things about your life, then that is what you're going to continue to see in your life. Whatever you ask in prayer, and believe you have received it. So if you don't truly believe you have love in your life, how can love be presented to you? If you don't truly believe that you are abundant, how can you see that in your life? Manifestation is of God. And if you don't like the word manifestation, you can use a different word. If you don't like the word or the principle of manifestation, just use a different word. But everything that we're talking about in manifestations are of God. Support for it can be found in the Bible. Support of it can be found in science. And so let's take this step this week to start a gratitude journal and look at all the things in our life that we are grateful for. The reason that it's important to do it before we go to bed is because that's when we're entering that subconscious realm. And we can solidify these thoughts in our head before we go to sleep, then they expound even more exponentially during our sleep time. So take that time before bed to do the gratitude journal. Write down at least 5 things that you're grateful for. Be specific and feel the gratitude so much so that it actually puts a smile on your face. That makes it even more real. So gratitude journal. 5 things that you're grateful for every night this week. All right, y'all. That's it for Manifesting Monday this week. And remember, be the change you want to see in the world, and you already have everything you need within you.